Okay. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Dr. Rachel Davis. I'm here with Texas, and all that title means is that I've had been afforded the blessed opportunity to share the benefits of supporting your gut health with quite a number of people, and actually anybody in my sphere of influence or in earshot of me will hear me talk about it being pivotal, having a good gut health regimen being pivotal in reaching any goal, any health goal that you desire, that you need, right? So for me, it was a missing puzzle piece that I did not know I needed because I felt like I was doing all the things. I was making healthy choices most of the time. I was hydrated. I was, um, training for half marathons. I was um, also suffering in silence with chronic sinusitis. I had so many sinus infections, but I understood my allergist was on speed dial. And whenever I would have a flare up, I needed to get antibiotics, I needed to get steroid, and I needed to, yeah, all of those things were working against me because it was killing my good beneficial microbes, um, causing my gut permeability to be increased, meaning toxins were my body was having to deal with toxins, and I didn't have a really good way to get rid of them. And so as a result, I was tired, I was overwhelmed, I was had brain fog. My mental clarity was not there. During my training runs, I would have, or during my long runs, my post recovery was longer. I managed my normal because it was who I was, right? Um, and all clinically, I knew what to do, and how to uh, mitigate the symptom, right? And how to feel okay. But it wasn't until I felt better that I knew how bad I was really feeling and how I was excusing that as a new normal that I was going to accept. In walks Plexus. And it was at the urgent of my sister, who is my dentist, who said, I think some things that we continue to treat in your oral health are also related to your gut health. And I think you should really give Plexus a really serious look. And I was like, really? Really? Okay. And then it wasn't until I got consistent on the triplex, which we'll talk about a little bit later, was that I started to notice those changes. I started to not have so much inflammation and swelling in my knees after runs. I started not to have, after I got on Plexus. I didn't have chronic yeast infections anymore because I lived on antibiotics. So of course, yeast was overgrown in my body. I had no idea that it was more than just taking an antifungal. It was what I was needing to do every day, and what I have been able to attain with Plexus that was keeping that candida yeast overgrowth at bay. Right. So all the things started to line up. I started feeling happier because I didn't understand there was a direct relationship with having beneficial microbes. And I'm talking kind of sciencey because this is the pharmacist call, and this is what we're on here for. I'm not going to go too much into it, but I got fascinated with learning and finding research around the gut brain axis and how our beneficial microbes, probiotics that we are intentionally planting in our body and feeding those, how those are making our mood boosting hormones, serotonin, dopamine, GABA. So, all of those things are tied into just eating plants. And when we can, sometimes even when we have a concentrated effort on getting those plants in our body, we due to soil quality and just pollution and just the nature of our standard American diet as it is today, we aren't able to achieve that. So in walks flexes with a doable system to be able to make it a lower hanging fruit. So it's not to replace anything, and the supplements don't claim to treat, diagnose, cure any disease state. But what we do offer is clinically proven products that help to heal a leaky gut. And when you can heal your gut lining, then your body is unlocked to heal itself. And when that puzzle piece start to fit in for me, everything clicks. I'm 5 years in plus. I have a community of people, and when I go out now and they say, "Oh my gosh, yes, I know you are all about gut health." So people are listening, but it's calls like this to kind of connect the dots for people because a lot of times we don't really know what gut health is. Tonight's call really is pointed to how we mitigate stress and avoid overwhelm during the holidays. And it is all of those things I just said. It is wrapped up into what are we doing to set ourselves up, because having an imbalanced gut affects our sleep. It affects our response to stress and anxiety. It causes us having overgrowth of yeast causes us the candida yeast oftentimes causes us to crave sugar, and this time of year is so readily available. It started in October with the Halloween candy, and it goes all the way through January 1st with the champagne. So having a good 6 week program, I mean, it's not too late to start, but having a foundational way to say, I'm going to beat this thing. I'm going to win. And being on this call to understand how to unlock that is a really good start. So I'm going to pause now and I'm going to hand it over to Dr. Corey Cooper, who can talk more about mitigating any time of the year, but especially this time of the year when stress can be high. Being off of our plan can be she incorporates or what some of the strategies that she employs to help with that. So Dr. Corey, take.
Yes, ma'am. Hello. And Dr. Rachel, you were freezing a little bit, so just make sure just check your Wi-Fi because you were freezing a little bit when you were talking. But I'm so excited to talk to you about this topic. I mean, when you think about where we are right now at this time of the year, we're getting ready for Thanksgiving. Everybody's sitting around trying to figure out what they're going to do for Black Friday and all the things. And then right on the heels of that, we will go right into Christmas. And so very often this is not only a busy time of the year because it's the holidays, but it's also because you're trying to wrap up all the things that you have to do as a part of your job, as a part of maybe like school, working with the kids and making sure they close out by the end of the year, end of the semester. And so it's a busy time for us socially, emotionally, mentally. It's taxing to our ability to be able to keep up with the regimen and the plan that we often set in place for ourselves before we get to this point. And so what I want to offer you tonight, it's just an opportunity to think about how to handle these different stressors that are going to come at you now, and they may have been coming at you all year. And if that's the case, well, let's think about a plan that we can put in place that can support you and sustain you through the holidays and beyond. You heard Dr. Rachel talk about, some the changes of the experience of having recognizing that gut health was linked to some of the things that she was experiencing in her oral health. We talked about on this call multiple times, not only the contribution of gut health to some of the disruptors that we may experience in our home and our hormones and our oral health, as Dr. Rachel mentioned. We also talk about how that's linked to blood sugar as well. And stress is significantly a contributor to a unstable blood sugar. So very often people only think about blood sugar in the sense of, well, I don't, if I you either have diabetes or you don't have diabetes. That's usually that's the only time people really talk about blood sugar. But in actuality, blood sugar is something that contributes to how our body responds on a daily basis to all the different things we experience. So not just stress, not just the foods we eat, but environmental toxins that are present that we don't even know about. All of those things actually stimulate and affect our blood sugar. And so what that means is that in periods of stress, your blood sugar has the potential to be irregular. And when your blood sugar is irregular, what that means is when you're like, oh, I'm just for some reason I'm crashing at 3 o'clock. I don't know. I got a good sleep last night, but I can't seem to make it through the day. Your cravings, you're reaching for sweet foods, you're often talking about, I just need something sweet, especially like at the close of the meal. You're like, I need something sweet. All of these things sort of are suggesting that the blood sugar is not as stable as it needs to be. And because of these fluctuations, you're feeling it in the form of stress. So irregular blood sugar can also help you feel that when you feel like overwhelmed or anxious, that can also come from irregular blood sugar, in addition to some of the other things I've already mentioned. So I tend to, and I work a lot with people who have type 2 diabetes. So I implement these strategies not only in an audience that doesn't, but also in those patients as well. And the reason why is because we all experience a similar type of stress. Whether it actually manifests as a chronic disease just depends on your how your what genes happen to be turned on in your body. So some of us have the blessing of not having certain genes turned on, whereas others of us have those genes, they just aren't. They're very active and they're turned on and they're creating all kinds of havoc. So the only person who is not at risk for type 2 diabetes is a normal weight white woman. So if you are not a normal weight white woman, then just inherently because of your race and gender, you are at risk for type 2 diabetes, which means you're at risk for an abnormal blood sugar, which means you're at risk for the impact of what happens when stress comes at you, when those environmental toxins come at you, when you're having a difficult time dealing socially, mentally, financially, all the things. So I like to implement four things in the people that I work with that have type 2 diabetes. It's mindset, micronutrition, macronutrition, and movement. So mindset, macronutrition, and movement. So mindset is this idea of taking time to actually find rest and identifying those things that help you to settle your mind. So that can look different ways in a lot of people. For example, some people often lend to like meditation. Some people find comfort in that. Some people find comfort in just doing a daily devotional, journaling, or even just finding space in your calendar where you're not obligated to someone or something. But you have to find this way to protect your mindset in a way that allows you to be able to create the sort of that sustained calm response that maybe are not able to do in the bulk of your day. Um, so very often I like to think of like space as gives me an opportunity to respond instead of react. So very often when we get up and we quickly start moving in our day and we start taking care of the things, we're reacting to whatever happens to be thrown at us. But if you actually take the time to protect your mindset and protect your space, it allows you to respond instead of react. So that's something that that's the first thing I always talk about implementing to help support minimizing stress. So the second two go hand in hand. So micronutrition and macronutrition. Usually the first thing that goes to the wayside when our schedule gets crazy is we stop eating the right things because usually we end up skipping meals. And then whatever regimen we have in place, it's gone and blown out the water. So it's very important. It's almost more important during times of stress for you to create a routine for your body that it can depend on. Because when your body can't depend on anything, it's that actually creates an environment of where your sympathetic nervous system gets activated, and it creates an environment of your body assuming you're in danger. And so because you're in danger, it's going to try to protect you. So that means it's going to start to store fat. It's going to hold on to basically like all the blood flow is going to kind of concentrate to the center of the body because that's where all your internal organs are. So you start to see usually people have drier skin. They feel fatigued, in addition to um, just having those, like, feeling just sort of anxious or overwhelmed because of all the hormone stimulation that starts to happen. So you have these physical manifestations of how the body has started to sort of retreat and protect itself. The extremities aren't quite as important, except for your legs. Your legs are important because they back in the day, when before we had, we could go to the grocery store and get our food, we had to run our food down and kill it, right? And so in the sympathetic nervous system would activate blood flow to your legs so that you could run away from the impending danger. But other than that, like, it's basically trying to protect the organs that you need um, to survive. And that often means that the things that aren't as important, like digestion, isn't really important for survival, right? What's important is to keep your heart going, keeping your body to the ability to run. Digestion goes to the wayside. So when you can't go to the bathroom regularly, you can't, you're cramping, you feel bloated, you maybe certain foods that you would normally eat you just don't feel as well after you eat them. Maybe you have symptoms like GERD or reflux. It's the body's way of saying, look, I've deprioritized that because you're in this stressful environment, and I can't worry about what's going on with your gut because you don't need that to survive. I have to focus on the things that you do need to survive. So macronutrition and micronutrition helps the body to recognize that, hey, we're not really in any danger. You've got the vitamins, you've got the support. Micronutrition is the vitamins and the supplements. So the things that we talk about, the supplements that we talk about taking with Plexus, they are a supplement to the foods that you're eating, and that food is called macronutrition. So those two things go together basically to help your body know, hey, everything's okay. It may feel like chaos is going on around me, but I know I can depend on 3 meals a day. I know I can depend on these particular supplements to get me through the day. And it's that routine. It's always funny to me when people tell me, "Oh, I love to be fly by the night. I love creativity. I just love to go with the wind, with the wind." But actually, your body craves routine. The mind, the brain craves routine. So all of these things that you are doing that may not seem like a big deal to you, it actually is helping you to to minimize that stress and helping you to do the things that you need to do without feeling as if you're overwhelmed. So always remember, regardless of how our personalities might say, that oh, we don't really like routine, we don't like doing the same thing every day. Your body actually craves routine, and your brain in particular craves routine. So we've got mindset, micronutrition, macronutrition, and the final thing is movement. It's so important that we create ways to move our bodies throughout the day, whether that's taking a walk for 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunch, 10 minutes in the evening, or maybe it's just walking after dinner. We talk very often about, people will say, oh, I just don't have time to go exercise. And we have to start thinking about movement differently, because movement doesn't mean you have to sign up for an exercise class. It doesn't mean you have to, go buy a bunch of weights and start lifting weights at home. There's different levels to movement. The whole point is that you're moving your body. And while I believe that all individuals, all women at some point do need to have sort of focused weight bearing exercise at different time points in their lives, there is a benefit regardless of just moving the body. Because if you do not move the body over time, the body will not be able to support you. So where we talk about osteoporosis, where the body is starting to steal from the minerals, it's stealing from the calcium, it's stealing from the bones to be able to get the appropriate nutrients that it needs. And if you're not using your legs, and you're not using those things that require that sort of mechanical movement with the bones, that helps those bones also to become more brittle. So lots of things come from a lack of movement. We often just think about movement when it comes to weight, but movement actually is tied to reflux. It's tied to osteoporosis, as I mentioned. It's tied to just like your overall loss of muscle. So very often what happens with women is, as you get older, it's a lot harder for women for their bodies to maintain muscle, which is why I mentioned that at some point it is important to think about weight bearing exercises. But up until then, it's the movement that not only supports the physical body, but it actually also supports the mental body. And so it really kind of almost makes these four things I just talked about almost like a cycle that you're moving through to help do the basics. To me, these are the basics that rather regardless of whether you have a health condition or not, these are the basics that prevent disease, and these are also the basics that help to manage and help people to shift from having a certain disease to not having the symptoms of that disease. So minimizing the stress for the holidays, think mindset. How am I protecting my mind? Am I eating the food? Am I still keeping my same food regimen, breakfast, lunch, and dinner? I'm not starving myself. I'm not skipping meals. I'm not overeating just because I have happened to have people over. Micronutrition. I'm still taking my supplements. I'm still supporting my body the way it needs to be supported. And then I'm finding some way to move my body every day. So those are my four things for stress reduction in the holidays.
That is so fantastic, Dr. Corey. I love hearing you break down very tangible things that we can do to help layer that on. So I'm going to build on that. Hold on just a second. I'm going to build on that foundation that you laid and talk about specifically how our product combinations help to achieve those things. And is it something that happens overnight? Absolutely not. So, but I don't want you to be discouraged if you have not already started, because the best time to start is right where you are, and then start to allow your body to start moving in those directions with the help of the products. Now, I will say building a regimen and working with a person who shared plexus with you and shared what your goals are, and kind of curating a package that helps work toward those goals in an easier way for you in your lifestyle is going to be important. But there are some just foundational things that we can all use. And so I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to talk about some of the combos that we lead with. And then we can go from there. The beautiful thing about this month in November is we have a product kit called a reset. And what reset is a 3-day metabolic, nutritionally focused fast metabolic reset that helps you just basically jumpstart your healthy choices or your healthier lifestyle, and actually helps you start then to be able to mentally get ready to start a new supplement regimen. And I have found that consistently doing a reset, which is your 3-day metabolic reset, that helps to reset your body at the cellular level. Doing that like every 6 weeks, every 8 weeks, or at least once a quarter is foundational. It's changed a lot for me because we can kind of get lax in our regimen and our body starts to clog up, for lack of a better term. And then basically what we can do is just help to jumpstart. And I think for me, the reset is more mental than anything. It's a mental reset. And it's like, oh, now I remember how really good I feel when I'm really giving my body what it needs on a consistent basis. And implementing that reset is definitely a great way to go. So this month it is free with a $100 purchase. So we always say, we talk about triplex, and you heard me say that word before. Triplex are 3 product combination. That's our gut health cornerstone. And so the slim, which is known as our pink drink, comes in several different flavors, 2 different forms. If weight loss is not a priority for you, then I'd recommend going with Slim Microbiome Activating. And that one is just doesn't, the hunger control just has more fiber, so it helps you feel full, kind of like how the over-the-counter fiber products are being marketed now. But it works really well. It has prebiotics. It has blood sugar balancing. It has beetroot extract for inflammation. It has alpha lipoic acid for cell restoration. And it helps to do all the things, right? So it's part of the triplex, the slim is like the prebiotic, and it's what we call our pink drink. The BioCleanse is a magnesium supplement, has vitamin C and bioflavonoids. It helps naturally detoxify, and it's magnesium, so it's also filling in that micronutrient gap that Dr. Corey talked about. It's like it goes in and kind of cleans out the sludge, helps you clean out the sludge. And then ProBio 5 is our stellar probiotic that has has enzymes, digestive enzymes. It has antifungal component property, because we talked about the importance of getting rid of candida yeast overgrowth. And so it has that component, as well as it's microencapsulated, freeze dried, and it helps to get to the site of action, which is the science behind it makes it a superior product, even to those that we think are refrigerated, or we pay so much money for them, or even the prescription probiotics. So it's a stellar product on its own, but when combined in the triplex, Slim, BioCleanse, and ProBio 5, those with consistent use can help to heal the leaky gut. And so that's really the ultimate goal here. It helps control sugar and carb cravings. And if you're looking to balance blood pressure, cholesterol, and hormones, you'll start to see all of those things fall in line when you have that concentrated effort. And having the free reset to get started, that is the deal of the year. I'm going to blast through some of these because, as you know, our product combos are endless, and you can get with the person who shared this call with you. Just remember that if you order before November the 30th, and you become a VIP customer, you are eligible to get that free reset. So it doesn't make sense not to get started with that reset, that 3-day reset. And you don't have to start right away. You don't have to start your 3-day fast when you get your products. You can start on other things and then just plan it out. So don't let that deter you. I know some people go, well, I'm going to wait till the beginning of the year. Don't do that. Start to do it right away. I wanted to show you our product combination called Triplex and Trim. And I want to highlight that one because it is the closest thing that is helping people achieve the weight loss benefits or results similar to the Skinny Shot or Ozempic or Wegovy or the GLP-1 agonist without the side effects. So I mean, there's so many combinations. You cannot go wrong with any of these. But I'm looking for triplex and trim, and y'all tell me if I passed it. Yes, we have a skincare line. Yes, we have collagen. Yes, we have iron supplement that has precision probiotics. So if you know somebody who is anemic that can't take over-the-counter iron products, our product is designed to help mitigate some of that GI distress caused by other iron products. I think it's absolutely amazing. Okay, I'm getting closer. Triplex and trim. Okay, so triplex, as you know, is our 3-product gut health combo. But when you add Restore, which is our liver support, it has also appetite control, and it helps with sleep. It has a product called berberine, or it has berberine, and so it also helps with healthy glucose metabolism. And so when you combine that with our balance product, which is our carb blocker, it actually delays carb absorption. So it mimics the GLP-1 agonist in that it helps your body delay gastric emptying, so you feel fuller, so you're not eating as much. And so that's why this combination, hands down, if weight loss is a goal for you, then I would highly recommend starting out with triplex and trim. And you not only get those 5 products, you also get the free reset. And so you're starting out with a free reset, and then you're going into your triplex and trim, and you're starting off the year ahead of the game. And I think it's just a no-brainer. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and talk a little bit about how you get started. We offer a VIP customer discount, which is 25% off of all things that you order throughout the year. There are no minimums, but we do have that as a opportunity. So I talked about the $100 combo purchase, and then you get a free reset as a VIP customer. So get with the person who invited you. They'll help you pick out a combo, and it's just as simple as that. They'll give you the promo code for the free reset. You get your 25% off. The membership for 1 year annual membership is $9.95. So it doesn't make sense not to grab hold of that VIP discount. We do have a 60-day money back guarantee, which if there's something in the product line that doesn't work well for you or you don't care for, the company will give you your money back. And I think that's a testament to the integrity of the company and how we stand behind our products, because our products work. And so annual membership, 60-day money back guarantee, free reset, and you get a referral link as a VIP customer. So as soon as you become a VIP customer, you have the opportunity to share the products with your friends and family, and you can either earn income or commissions or profit sharing cash back, or you can get free products. So there is no reason why you should wait another day. Get with the person who shared this call with you. If you have questions for us, the pharmacists, we're always just a text or a phone or DM message away. If you have anything you wanted to ask, or you're watching this at a later date and you wanted to circle back with something, we're always available. I really appreciate your time today. Thank you, Dr. Corey, for all of your insight and wisdom that you share with us on this call and throughout the year. We appreciate you so much. And I look forward to seeing each and every one of you on our team calls in the near future. So y'all have a happy holiday and a great Thanksgiving, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Y'all.